Machines. Metallic, plastic, unfeeling things. These inorganic maid labor we surround our lives with. We treat these things as tools, and well, they very much are. Calculating measurements of all kinds, transporting supplies, and assembly of larger, more complex machines. It's strange how much we demonize their use, as if the stick was a sin to make into spears, as first man did. We somehow see them as cold, distant, and inhuman. The most common perspective is to see them as unnatural. Unnatural? That seems strange to me. I feel the word natural is lost as of presently. It's normal for words to change meaning over time, but one of the greatest language tragedies is when a word is overexposed and loses any singular defining meaning. What is natural? Is it natural to need to feed oneself? To protect oneself? As all animals and plants do alike? Yes, of course. Yet is unnatural to specialize in the practice? Parasites that eat the brains of insects and control their minds and bodies to serve even after death is seen as more natural than specializing in sheltered construction. As if mixing liquids with stone and clay is somehow different of intent and motive than any ant or bee building its shelter. All using different materials made in different ways, and yet the motive is the same. The intent is the same. That is what makes the practice natural for animals to do. That is what makes a beehive just as natural as a concrete building. More complex? Yes. Yet if we deem natural in terms of complexity, then is natural supposed to be a simple design? Are some creatures more natural than others due to less complexity or more? No. No, natural is not defined by complexity. Is a germ not natural due to its single-cell complexity? Animals are obviously natural, and their behavior is just as so. The next we need to define is technology. What a word that is. I've always been curious if the word was used in the 1400s. If not, what did they call their modern designs? Or what was modern in their time? Again, we have this delusion. Technology is defined by lights and circuits, metals and plastics, yet the cutting and the smoothing of a wooden shovel is technology as any other. Do we define technology by its complexity? No, we do so as the advancing of tools. A mammal making its paw into a flipper, as seen by the evolution of a whale, is the advancing of a tool. It is the shaping of advancing tools such as the spitterbug's projectile, the wasp stinger, and the farming practices of fungus farming ants, known as simply the leaf cutter ant, that truly grounds the meaning of technology and how truly natural it is. When I was younger, one of my many siblings always projected his personality, his identity, in the form of a hippie-loving, tree-loving hermit in the woods. Me, spending so much time with him, projected in a rather different light of industry and technology. There was almost this aura of green and fresh air around him, as there was red and smog enveloping me. It was a simply childlike logic that made sense of it. Yet just like all things, these ideals were projections of fiction we built our interests around. I played the villain and he played the hero, foundations of what makes the world we see every day. Slowly, I grew interested in the behavior of ants and their colonies, trees and their forests, How could this be the case? I still loved industry and the marvels of humans' creations, yet I began to see the common traits among the living creatures of this world. How industrial a beehive can be, the conveying of information a forest would practice through the nervous system of fungi among the roots like cables in the dirt. I began seeing the mechanisms in the body, such as the digestive system being no different than a workshop, deconstructing and reconstructing raw products like stone and clay into more building materials for the colony of the cells that make up our bodies. I started asking simple yet strange questions. Why is our skin fabricated of soft material? Why not steel, platinum, or stone? Why do we use electricity to convey sensory among taste, touch, and so on? Eventually, after asking and speaking with others, it became apparent how obvious these answers are. If we were made of iron, it would be heavy and cost more fuel to power. The ability to self-repair from light wounds would become expensive and impractical. We would be required to spend our lives building spares to ensure longevity, and thus the mechanical complexity that is our reality came together. Why we manufacture more of our own kind in a reasonably self-made assembly tank we call a womb. There is a clear logic to everything. Once I began to see things this way. Skin is a self-repairing, flexible, adjustable, protective natural technology we have developed over millions of years. We use electricity to convey information through our nerves because it's the most efficient method of transportation and power we have only been able to replicate in the last 200 years. Natural technology is the most advanced marvels of technology we have only attempted to copy over thousands of years. What is a pulley system but a muscle we made to lift weights, made cheaper due to the simplicity compared to the animal's arm muscle, but also made of more rare materials like steel to compensate its cheaper simplicity to ensure maximum use. There is a practical and mechanical motive behind every natural practice in all living things do in this world. If this is the case, then our hearts are just simply liquid pumps lasting literally a lifetime. Computers are lobotomized slave brains used to aid in our own self-made computing power of the mind. Eyes are light sensors, and skin is an advanced suit of self-repairing armor made of the cheapest of material to ensure no sacrifice occurs when damaged. The human, no, the modern living entity is a marvel of technology, both plant and animal alike. Yet, we distance ourselves from machines as if these disabled metal-based organics is something to fear. We refuse to acknowledge the life we put into them as if these organs are less purposed than the liver and kidney. We surround ourselves with machines as the first men were surrounded by organic machines, yet all these machines are natural. If you wish to divide metal organs from carbon organs and consider one more value than the other, you're simply shutting your mind to the reality we live among every day, shutting yourself from one of the most natural things in this universe, life. Cells do not think, yet they serve. It will eat, it will work, and it will die serving its colony. For all cells do under the governing of the colony demands for which you as a collective and individual may end any day. Even in this case, the cell serves as any drone, ant, or machine would. Look down upon your hands, the fingers, the hinges that make up the palm of your hand. You are a construct, a colony of cells built into one complex machine. So why do we distance ourselves from machines? when every living thing around us is one. This was Gorz Radio. To all citizens of the state, acknowledge and good night.